In today's episode, we leave the red dirt of the mighty Flinders Ranges and begin our travels down the eastern side of the Eyre Peninsula to Point Gibbon.
The Eyre Peninsula has a wide variety of landscapes, from salt flats and dry desert areas to lush forests and beautiful sandy beaches.
We found an amazing free camp on the way to Point Gibbon, right on the beach with no one around.
Beautiful Whyalla at the top of the Eyre Peninsula. Lovely jetty over there. We've seen a few dolphins
Another one following that
in the water. So we're heading down to Point Gibbon for the East, because today is Good Friday, it's the Easter long weekend. So the idea was to try and stay somewhere cheap or free for the Easter long weekend so everyone can go back to work and people like us can actually enjoy ourselves again. So we're near the top of the Eyre Peninsula at Point Gibbon. Don't know why it's named after a monkey, but geez, the Mother Nature is really turning on the sunset today. Eyre Peninsula rocks.
We like it. After 3 mostly uneventful nights at the point, we continued south down the coast.
Good morning, Good morning, everyone, from the cool, calm waters of Tumby Bay on the Eyre Peninsula. Really beautiful. We had absolutely appalling wind last night. It was gusting at about 60 k's an hour. So we've woken up. It's quite cloudy, but the sun's trying to poke through, and it's quite pretty. We're going to Port Lincoln today. We're staying there for a couple of days before we make our way up the other side of the peninsula.
We are in Tumby Bay for the Silo Arc, which I've heard so much about, and quite honestly, it's worth it.
So it's wicked. So in those two shadow lines going up and down, he's actually filled in the paint of the artwork on the inside side of the other row of silos, if you understand what I mean. So yeah, maybe you don't, that was really poorly explained, but very cool to sort of paint something on a bunch of cylinders and make it look like it's sort of two-dimensional.
All the street art and murals and things we've seen around town from the little bit of time that we'd spent here was really impressive. Kind of wish we spent a bit more time here, but the weather was a bit iffy. But done and dusted.
Awesome.
Hello from Port Lincoln National Park.
National Park. A little bit cloudy today, a little bit noisy with all the galahs, but it's very beautiful.
Look at that.
This is pretty much our daily sandwich ritual. We pull the drawer out. I made this like kind of quick table thing that fits in the drawer. We get the, what are they called, thins?
Yeah.
Grab them out, bit of chicken, bit of ham, some tomatoes. Bob's your uncle. We've been doing it, I want to say,
About a month.
pretty much every day, except for maybe 5 days so far on the entire trip where we haven't done this and we've done something else. Are we sick of it yet?
Actually not.
Not at
I
all.
thought I would be, but
Nah.
no.
Not at all. And you definitely don't get sick of doing it in places like this.
First time on sand dunes.
Yeah. Yep. First time letting the tires down. You kind of think like, shit, you're in Port Lincoln. You probably would have done it by now, but we haven't. So this is our first try.
May the odds be ever in our favour.
The dunes were pretty spectacular, but the sand was softer than a week-old salad. And of course we got bogged almost immediately. So I let the tires down a bit more, dug out a bit of sand, and we crawled straight out. All 3.2 tons of us.
This track is very much not for us.
Yeah, we can't do that. We already tried and I can feel us bottom out straight away on the diff, so we're not dragging sand underneath the bottom of the car to get up there.
Yeah, no. Bye.
Bye.
We're still in Port Lincoln's National Park, and it's a post-traumatic sand disorder. The dunes got us. It was really soft sand. Let's just put it this way. We're on our way to go find a gin distillery.
Yeah, we could do with a drink, I reckon.
I reckon so too.
The distillery was closed, but Jump Ship Brewing was open and their beers were excellent. We also couldn't stay in Port Lincoln without trying their famous seafood, so we treated ourselves to a fancy dinner, and it certainly tasted as good as it looked.
From there, it was a short drive across the bottom of the peninsula to our next stop. Morning, honey bunch. What's happening today? Pull yourself together.
We're being absolute bougie mad dogs, and we're going on an oyster tour
You
today.
bet. And where are we,
all the
sorry?
other grey nomads. We are in Coffin Bay, and can I please, in a separate video, address the morbidity of Australian places' names?
Yeah, it's true that. That's where we're going. Coffin Bay is one of the most beautiful places in Australia. Although the tour was expensive, it really showcased the beauty, history and culture of the area. We highly recommend it.
managed to snag another fantastic free camp right across from the town.
Good morning from Coffin Bay. Not the cheeriest of names, but pretty good spot. Hello. We are at a free camp because we splashed out a bit on an oyster tour yesterday. And look, as I haven't experienced loads of free camps, but as far as this one goes, it's not bad.
We started to make our way up the windy west coast of the peninsula, staying overnight at Woolshed Caves.
Are at another free camp this evening, and as far as free camps go, in my opinion, we thought the last one was pretty cool. This was something else.
Our next stop was to have a look at the strange rock formations known as Murphy's Haystacks. By this point, we had been on the road for a while, so forgive me for indulging in the opportunity to be a bit of a dickhead.
Last stop on the Eyre Peninsula, the beautiful Streaky Bay. We only had an overnight stop here, so we went for a walk to the pub, watched a bit of the footy, then walked back to the caravan park to witness one of the best sunsets we've seen so far.
That's a wrap for today. On next week's episode, we camp on the famous Bunder Cliffs, find a hidden gem. The vibes in this tiny little town are actually really great. Everyone's really super friendly. And tackle the most infamous road in Australia, the Nullarbor.
Nulla boring!